Well, hello, Rock family. Jerry and Kimberly Dearman here, and I don't know if you caught the message from this past weekend, but we shared some things about how we as a church and we as individuals are going to cross over this Jordan and possess our promised land. Now, you may have been through a tough time since the pandemic hit, and it may have had negative consequences for you. And let me tell you, God knows about that, and the Lord wants to reverse that. The Lord wants to restore things to you. And so this is part of what God is saying. It is time to cross over the Jordan. It's time to possess our promised land. In other words, the past season that we've been in, even all the blessings of the past season, have not been as glorious, as amazing as what God is about to do in this next season. But in our hearts first, we have to possess that promised land. But let me tell you this, the Lord is also saying, and you'll hear this if you listen to the message from this past weekend, that the Lord is also saying, hey, for you to go across the Jordan into the next season and possess the promised land in your life and in your life as a ministry, you're going to have to let go of some things from the past season, even things we love. Things we love. Let me give an example that you'll hear if you, maybe you already have, or maybe you'll hear if you listen to the message from this past weekend. When we first came to this location, not this building, but several buildings down, the original rock building on Orangethorpe, 101 East Orangethorpe, when we first came to this building, there was a great little church there. But the Lord spoke to us and told us, you need to close down what's happening there and begin to prepare for what I want to do. Well, you can imagine how that just punched people in the gut that have been there praying, giving, doing ministry. But 7 months after we did it, the rock was launched. And then there were hundreds and eventually thousands of people, campuses all over the place. It was a move of God. It was the glory of the Lord. But we had to let go of something to be able to go into that season. That's exactly what God is saying now in your life and in our life as a ministry. So one of the things that sort of punches us in the gut, maybe me a little bit more than some people, is, the Lord over the years went from one building, he took us to 5 buildings, and the Lord's been doing glorious things. But now the Lord is saying, I want to expand you even more, and to do it, I want you to adjust how you do campus ministry. See, when COVID hit, churches all over America were pushed out of the church, and they went online. You know what the Lord did for us? And I don't think this is just us, but I thank the Lord for what he did. We went from being pretty much 100% campus ministry to 100% online ministry, and then the Lord called us to launch house churches. So then we had online ministry and house churches. And then slowly he's reintroduced campus ministry. So now instead of just having one ministry, campus, now we have online ministry, now we have house church ministry, and now we have campus ministry. And so now in this new season, we're going to have all three, but the Lord said that campus ministry cannot be as big and heavy, labor intensive as it used to be. You need to redesign the campus to be able to support all three of these branches: online, house churches, and campuses. To do that, we're going to consolidate from 5 buildings down to 2 buildings. And I know it's tough, to think, well, man, look at all the work that it took. And it was amazing what the Lord did. But it's going to be even more amazing now that we're expanding, and we have expanded to 3 different branches. Now, some of you may say, well, what does that mean for example, kids ministry and next gen ministry? Well, that's not going to diminish. In fact, share with them our heart toward kids and next gen.
Well, before I do that, you and I know about pruning. We had a gardener a few years ago that didn't really know too much about pruning because he didn't prune enough our rose bushes, and he didn't prune it at the right time. So when all of our neighbors had blossoming rose bushes, ours looked pitiful. And then so we learned how important that the right pruning happens to the depth that it needs to and in the right time. So the pruning process itself is never fun. It's never easy. But boy, when you begin to see the blossoms that was brought forth by that pruning, you're so glad that you went through it. So yes, we're cutting some things back, but our ministry reach is going to increase, and we are not backing off of the next generation, children, youth, and young adults. As a matter of fact, as we refocus our resources, both time, people, finances, we're going to be able to reach more children, disciple more children, more youth, and more young adults than ever before. I believe we're going to see whole households come to Jesus. Listen, this is not backing down. This is taking new territory. And new territory is not just lands. New territory are human beings, people. The pruning is so that people's eternity is better. It's so that people's eternity is with Jesus. So not only what we're going to do is going to impact people here on earth, but we're talking about that which never ends. So it's worth the discomfort. It's worth even for us. There are certain things we're attached to, but nothing we're attached to is more important than actually reaching people for Jesus. And we're going to see the greatest move of Next Gen Ministry through the Rock that we've ever seen before.
It's absolutely the truth. Somebody mentioned, well, I can see, that was a lot to take care of, and so now you're going to downsize and it'll be easier. That is so not the reason. We're not downsizing to make it easier on us. In fact, our ministry has expanded far more. We are going many different directions now, but we're thrilled because the wind of the Holy Spirit is blowing.
Yeah, and we're not pruning because of finances.
That's right.
Because even through COVID, we've been amazed at the goodness of God and the strength that our church has positioned. But I believe it's because we're walking in obedience to what the Lord is saying. So we're refining our focus to reach more people.
Yes. God has blessed us. God, His favor, His provision, everything is there. The only reason we're doing this is because the Spirit of God is saying, this is the way I want you to do it, so that you reach more people than you've ever reached before. So we're going to take 2 of our buildings, we're going to renovate them, we're going to dial them in, not just for campus ministry, but to be able to do online, to be able to do house church ministry, to expand the ministry in every way, including campus ministry. We're not going away from campus ministry. We're going to do all 3 of these. It's going to be powerful. Let me tell you, if you want to catch what the Lord is saying and the vision, the strategy that He is giving us, that all of this will be working on, it's in BBST, Basic BFAM Strategy Training. You can go to either the website, go to therock.com, or more easily, you can go to the app and click on BFAM Strategy Training. You'll see many options there of when these free 7-week training courses are going to happen. They're all on Zoom, so you don't have to go anywhere. It can all be right there from your home or office. But sign up for one of the BBST courses, and you'll begin to catch the power of what God is telling us to do. We're going to reach more people than ever before. So if you didn't catch the message from this past weekend, catch the message, and let's keep our faith up, and let's possess our promised land.